Welcome to the best of the Anthony Cumia Show. 1 hour of highlights from this past week. Comedy, politics, current events, and pop culture. All completely uncensored.
You know what Patrice was amazing at was that he would go so hard, but still be completely willing to change his mind in the argument. One of my favorite things ever is the thing with you and Patrice when you convince him about Face Off.
Oh, yeah.
The movie.
Oh,
I mean, it starts with Patrice, like Norton says the movie stinks, and Patrice is like, you're retarded, that movie was great.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it starts. And like 3 sentences later, he's just completely like, you're right, it stunk.
He's like, yeah, that movie stunk.
As smart as Patrice was, his movie taste was shit.
Just shit.
He liked the worst fucking movies. And when Nick Cage came in, I was doing a Leno spot when you guys had Nicolas Cage, but I had him sign a Face Off to Jim and Patrice. I was like,
oh yeah,
that's what I wanted.
Face Off. That was just a terrible movie.
Dude, when Jim
what
starts
was Patrice
breaking
saying
down
at how it was good?
Once Jim starts breaking it down, there's no argument.
It was so bad.
It's the worst movie ever. The science of it is insane.
Yeah.
Like, the idea you could just change someone.
It makes no sense. Just the face, and then like the wife doesn't realize. You know, they never bring up the dick size thing.
And they fuck. And I think he fucks the wife. And there's
there's no.
Not even
except for this. Remember Travolta? That was the thing where Travolta would touch.
Dude, I think that's what you convinced Patrice on.
The stupid face thing.
Anything.
His hand smells like a man's ass and wig juice.
Even Patrice said that Travolta stinks. And after Pulp Fiction, he got this free ride in Hollywood again.
Yeah.
His big comeback. And then had the power to just make shitty movies for... There wasn't one more good movie after Pulp Fiction. I can't think of it.
The Get Shorty, the first one was okay.
Okay. All right. Good one.
But that's literally all I got. There's a bunch more.
Get Shorty, and then he put out that Scientology one.
Yeah, that was bad.
With the aliens. That was so bad.
Wait, he was good in Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. What a chilling bad guy. That was a really bad movie.
What a douchey fucking... He tries that over-the-top bad guy thing, and it's so cartoony.
Yeah, it's not good.
There was another one where he played some Russian guy recently, and he's like back in some spy shit. He's trying to kill
terrible.
It was so bad with his bad Russian accent and just terrible.
Ty West is directing him now.
Yes, he is in a Western, I think. He was out in
Is it really
some kind of Western?
They're like Stephen King's books where they're just like, oh, so you just have an idea and people will make this. Like no matter how bad it is, everyone's like,
here's the
idea. Let's go.
Maybe someone will make this and make it good. Because who was I talking about? I was talking about Eastside Dave the other day, and we were talking about Stephen King and how his books, it's like, yeah, all right, I could read the book, or I could watch a great director make a movie out of it. Fuck the book at that point. I'd rather just, they say, oh, the book is so much better. It does this, it does this. And then Dave brought up a good point. He goes, I don't know, do books have, like, music now? Is that it? When you read the book and you're imagining it, it's all great. Is there a score that goes along with it? Because I really like that in a movie. And you're like, God, what music brings to movies, it's huge. And the books, there's none of that. You don't make up the music in your head, do you?
I don't.
I'm telling people to not read books.
No, Dave is right, too. I mean, Eastside Dave, you're saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he really did expose that there's no music in a book.
There's killer insights.
Yeah.
Only Eastside Dave can
Only
bring.
Dave could figure out that there is no music.
You don't know how many books I've thrown out the window and said, I don't know why, but this thing's too quiet.
It's busted.
You know what, though? When Stephen King makes his own movies, he stinks. His
They're
movies
terrible.
Suck. He's a genius writer, and when he lets somebody else direct them, they're amazing.
Yeah. He's actually a very, very talented writer who just found a way to, like, just monetize your ability to write better than anyone else
pump him
ever
out
did,
like a madman.
Yeah.
You ever read his nonfiction? He's got a book called On Writing. He's got another. He wrote some short story about his kid's like fucking baseball game, like Owen's Little League game. Oh. He's awesome. Like no matter what he writes about.
Come out of the dugout and fucking bite the kids' heads off.
Oh yeah, the bat turns into some sort of a monster. I couldn't get through it.
It was frightening.
Yes.
Something like The Shining. You get Kubrick's vision of it.
Yeah.
And anyone that says the book is better, I mean, it sounds like the more intelligent thing to say, I guess. But to watch Kubrick's vision of that beats the shit out of sitting there and reading a book.
But it's also like you can go like say it's the easy like academic smart thing to say the book is always better than
always.
That. But you're like really okay, so we've had books. I mean, when was the written word developed? Like 5,000, 10,000 years ago. We've had that forever. Outside, yeah, maybe I really was way off on that. Was that 100,000 years ago? Whatever. The point is, we've had written word for at least in stone tablets. Movies we've had for what, like 50? If you had taken a movie back to someone a few hundred years ago, the experience would have been like hallucinating.
Of course.
It would have been the most amazing artistic experience of your life.
It was when they first like popped a film in front of people, they freaked out.
Yeah, show that to whoever was doing like the cave paintings or whatever.
Show Jurassic Park.
Tell them the book was better.
It's a documentary.
I'd rather show people in cave paintings than a woman voting. They'd find that harder.
One water fountain for everyone. This is madness.
Yes, or Caitlyn Jenner. Challenge those cave dicks to say soft. That delightful beauty.
I saw a lot of Twitter action with you on that. A lot of people were saying that you were kind of off base with it.
With what?
With the Caitlyn Jenner thing.
On what point? I'm not sure.
I think because you were so like accepting of it.
Well, yeah, I know. I hate to break it to people, and listen, I don't mean to shake any of the fans, but I like trannies. I know I've kept that under my hat. I realize.
If this is Jim being accepting of trannies, what was the past? Unaccepting?
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. No, you know what it is? I think people get it mixed up where you say you're totally accepting of it, whatever, and then if you're not overly accepting and overly like, oh my God, did you see Caitlyn? She's so beautiful.
Yeah.
More beautiful. And if you don't pump it up that much that you're homophobic or transphobic.
That's what's so weird. It's like you can't just be in the healthy middle
Right, you can't
anymore.
be like, hey, good for him if that's what he wants to do. I think he looks like a fucking pig, but whatever. It's like, oh, you're just being, and then insert some isist here.
Yeah.
But, you know.
What do they think I should have done? Like I talked about liking fucking transsexuals for 25 years or 20 years of my career. So it's like, what Caitlyn Jenner? Yeah, I'm happy. It's like if that's who you are, and you wait till you're 60 something to do it. All right, go ahead. Like, what do you want me to say? Obviously, you look like Chief J. Strongbow in the fucking... that bikini shot was not good. I did that line all weekend, and it never got more than a 1.
Oh,
no one knows who Chief J. Strongbow is.
I just love the comic thing, though, where you just, whatever the end of the line where you still believe in the joke, you're like, there's a certain point where you're like, if this keeps getting a 1, I guess I gotta
give it up.
You're like,
leave it by the roadside.
I had to put it to bed. I stopped doing it, but now the way I'll do it is I'll backdoor it, and I'll go, it's funny, no one laughed, but I was saying, and I'll try it like that, and then you just see if anybody goes with it that way.
No one laughed.
I like that when you have like when you have like an old topical joke that you had to bury, but then it kind of comes up in the news. There's just like a little bit of an excuse, like, so it's the 1-year anniversary of Ferguson, huh? Anyway, remember last year when this was relevant?
Yeah.
That's the hard part, topical stuff. It's like how do you keep it feeling relevant a year later? Like, a lot of times you can't. There's stuff that makes it, like, only get a laugh because people saw the news story. Like, if you talk about Donald Sterling, everybody knows what he did, but there were specifics of that you can use him as a reference point now.
Yeah,
you
it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough, because people really, things like that are so in their mind and then so out of their mind. I had this bit that Voss always talks about, how I still can do this, but I don't think I can. But I had this bit that I really loved it, about the Nelson Mandela's fake sign language translator guy. But it was just so, I mean... a lot of people don't really remember what that was. And even though
until you just said it, I'm like, oh.
But for that moment, it was, it worked great.
Gold, Jerry, gold.
Not so.
I had a bit on him, too. I still do it, though. I'll be like, could you imagine what that guy was saying? Who knows?
That's great. Put that back in. That's timeless. That doesn't have anything to do with topicality.
Yeah, but that's the unfortunate part. Is like, if you have, say, 6 minutes, like I'm doing, obviously, this Caitlyn Jenner stuff, like most stand-ups. Although you can't do it on late-night TV. The Guys Network, Spike edited fucking Clint Eastwood, and Caitlyn joke.
That's very odd. I think, of course, it should be fodder for comedians.
Sure, it should be. You could do it and not, be hard. Like, people think just because you make fun of something, you can't. It's like, yeah, I support Caitlyn Jenner, but you know, you can't. Let's be honest. I wouldn't fuck Caitlyn Jenner, and that's I'm an ageist.
Yeah.
I don't care
if there's anything, I just too old.
I don't care that you're trans, but you're fucking old.
You're an old tranny.
Exactly. I don't want an old lady either. I wouldn't fuck Rula Lenska. I might jerk off on her old feet, depending. Although I saw Bo Derek. She's married to a guy on Bobby's show, John Corbett. She still looks fucking good, man.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Plus you know she's Bo Derek.
The cop from Imos's show?
The what?
I thought you meant Bo Deedle.
It's the best of the Anthony Cumia Show. The Anthony Cumia Show airs live Monday through Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern in glorious high-definition video, exclusively at anthonycumia.com.
Where are we with this? When can we see it?
Well, you could see it today.
Ha ha. Psych.
You can see it October 21st.
Wow, I really can get lead time on this one.
Yeah.
Well, I really want to see it. This is I've been very excited about this. You guys were able to get pretty much everybody. Almost everybody. Most of the key players, both in front of and behind the cameras.
Yeah, the one that's not on your list for the and for the new listeners on your show, Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg.
Yeah. He of course he executive produced all three Back to the Future.
He certainly did.
He's an up-and-coming guy. You've heard of him,
yeah, young kid. He's going to go far.
He's really getting in his groove now.
Directed some small things like, you know.
Yeah, he did that one with
the dinosaurs and
or that other one with Dennis Weaver driving around, Duel.
That's a great film.
It was isn't that
film.
has so many of this, like, you could see this rough around the edges Spielberg shots.
Yeah.
And the look of it, that close-up panic look that he gets out of Dennis Weaver.
Jaws,
and it's like, and it's like, oh wow, that's how he started this whole thing.
Yeah.
But no Spielberg?
Yes, Spielberg.
No, yes,
Spielberg.
So that's our latest, and that we had to get a release from his camp.
Right.
So we've had that interview kind of in the bag for a while, but we couldn't announce it till last week, I think.
What type of info or vibe did you get out of him talking about Back to the Future?
You'll see in about 35 minutes. You'll see in about 35 minutes in a couple of months.
Damn. He, for him, it's weird because Zemeckis was probably the weirdest moment for me as a director directing this was when I said to Zemeckis, so where does Back to the Future fall in your career? And, he won an Oscar for Forrest Gump, and you're thinking, like, he'll say, oh, it was great, it was 30 years ago, whatever.
Right.
And he said, it's the greatest thing I ever wrote. He said, you have one, direct quote was, you have one of these in you in your lifetime. And I froze. Like it was like, interview over for a minute. Like, let me take that in.
I mean, Zemeckis, that's a name that...
Right. That's a name.
Yeah.
And the guys in the middle...
thrown around a little out there as far as directors go,
Yeah, so to hear that was amazing. From Spielberg, you didn't expect it because, first of all, he didn't direct it. This,
right.
It's good. One of his directing projects is going to be up there for him.
Yeah.
But I think he has great perspective. And I mean, the guy's, Spielberg, so he has great perspective of what it is, and how he views it as a time travel movie. And I mean, he said straight out, it's the best time travel movie ever put on film.
Yeah, I think he's right. As far as that, and as far as being entertaining, like you could have a time travel movie that's a little too clinical, or another one that is too goofy and doesn't kind of transport you. It doesn't make you believe it.
Right. Well, Zemeckis said in his interview, and I think it made it to the film. Or I'm not sure if it made it to the film, but that
you haven't seen it.
I can't. There's so many cuts. No, it was Carl Sagan and said, you guys got it right. You guys, out of all the time travel movies out there, up to date, you guys got it right. So, I mean, that's got to be a huge feather in his cap.
It really must.
That being featured in our documentary, 2 big feathers in his cap. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
It's really strange when you watch Back to the Future and realize that it wasn't directed by Spielberg. How much influence, Spielbergian influence, it has.
Oh, yeah. Especially because Gale and Zemeckis were young guys. I mean, forget even age. I mean, they were young in their career.
Right.
Yeah.
And Steven was their mentor. I'm sure they ran a lot of stuff by him on set. It was their story. I mean, take away nothing from Zemeckis and Gale, but, you got Steven Spielberg as your mentor. You're going to look up to him, and it's definitely there. You could. That's a really good point.
When you look at
should have interviewed you for that.
When you look at some of the movies that Spielberg was involved in any way, shape, or form, the word that comes to mind is longevity. These movies are modern day classics, And even though, 30 years old, we consider it a modern-day classic. But they are classics, and the rewatchability and just iconic nature of these movies in this country, what does that? Is it just story? Because there have been great stories in movies that just don't age well.
I think for Spielberg, it's a chicken and the egg thing, because Gale and Zemeckis had done 3 other movies with Spielberg, and none of them made any money. Used cars. Either you've seen it or you haven't.
You know what? I like that goddamn movie.
Right.
It's a funny movie.
But if you weren't around, it's certainly not playing on HBO tonight.
Yeah.
So Gale and Zemeckis had kind of gone off away from Spielberg with Back to the Future. They wrote it on their own. They shopped it. They got rejected 1 million times. I think the tip to Spielberg is that he could see a project and recognize how good it's going to be, and that's when he'll sign on to it. So it's not so much that he was in the writer's room and giving them suggestions and telling them where to take it. It's more that when he read it, he said, "Oh, this is a great project.
Right.
Yeah, I'll produce this. Let's get it set up at Amblin. Let's do it." And I think a lot of his projects are like that, especially now that he's older. He could pass on anything he wants. He could just pick the gems.
Absolutely. I think he has some clout in Hollywood.
A little bit.
He also does the things where he creates each movie is almost its own brand, and and there's a symmetry within John Williams is the easiest one to point to because he's the composer, and he does all. He did Jurassic Park, and he did E.T., and all, these things are just so iconic, and I think you remember the movie, and then you remember the music, or vice versa.
Absolutely, yes.
And then we do the John Williams challenge all the time. If you can sing Jurassic Park, I'm gonna mess it up now. If it's Jurassic Park, it's E.T. It's a whole bunch, and then we can't do it here because you're gonna get charged a lot of money if we start humming it here. But if you can get through the 4 or 5 of them, you know your stuff.
It really is. It's so important to the movie, and especially Back to the Future. And I read years ago about the scoring of that movie and the fact that they didn't want a goofy score. They wanted an actual movie score for this.
Silvestri told us the story. First of all, amazing guy. The two musicians.
Wonderful.
Yeah. The 2 musicians that worked on this movie.
Look, I get goosebumps because I remember going into the Back to the Future ride.
He really does have goosebumps.
It's like hearing that music.
You have Silvestri and Huey Lewis, another great guy who killed it with Power of Love. But Silvestri tells us the story the night that they were filming the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. It's the biggest shoot for the film.
Fish Under the Sea dance.
Yeah, right? So it's the biggest shoot for the film. There's God knows how many extras, all the students for the dance.
Yeah.
And Silvestri was there. He comes in, Zemeckis is in there, and they see each other, and Zemeckis looks at him and he goes, Al, the score. It's got to be here. It's got to be here.
That's great.
And the way that Al describes it, it's you had this movie that has very simple, it's a very simple story. Things that we could all relate to: friendship, family, parent. I mean, all these simple things. But then Zemeckis said, but then the score has to be big. Because these are life lessons.
Yeah.
So simple story, big score, and it just worked.
Yeah. I want to ask him, what is the music that you use when your mother's about to French you? I want to know that.
Do you play?
They figured it out
for that one.
And Power of Love is the same thing. Huey Lewis described this to us also. That it's he used the word tangential. He goes, because what is he uses big words, Huey Lewis. But what does it have to do with the plot?
What is power of love?
The power of love.
It wasn't like today, right? Today, hardly anymore do you have songs written for movies. They just pluck them. Like there's a big song, they pluck
take
it,
a hit song and put it in the movie.
Right. Power of Love was written for Back to the Future, but it has nothing to do with Back to the Future.
I guess the fact that trying to get the mom and dad together, but the power of love is what he needs to keep him from disappearing.
No. He's trying to get back. He's a teenager. He's trying to get back to nail Jennifer. That's
right.
What he's trying to do. That's all he needs. That's the power of the.
And I don't think Huey saw the movie before he wrote the song.
Really?
I don't think so.
That's hilarious.
No, I think he was described the plot. Yeah. He had a meeting with Spielberg.
I got another hit in me. Spielberg, sit back and watch this. Watch me pen another hit. I'm Huey Lewis.
So Spielberg came to him, said, we have this protagonist, and his favorite band would be Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis.
I think that's how they. I think that's how they buttered the muffin a little bit.
Yeah.
Huey goes back. Pens it. He's first or second thing he wrote.
Yeah.
Power
Pens a hit and gets a little cameo in it as
Asked him about
just
that.
too darn loud.
That was his acting premiere.
That was his acting debut.
Yeah.
There it is. And the band is playing the song.
A knockoff version.
A horrible knockoff version.
Which they
instrumental.
Which they had to re-record. He took this character. I don't think this is in the final cut of the film.
Oh, yeah.
He took this character that you're seeing now. It was an A&R guy that he knew.
Oh, perfect.
And he modeled it after the guy, and the guy knew it. He said the next time he saw the guy said, Huey, that was a very good acting performance that you did, or should I say that I did? You know, it was,
well, I might have borrowed a couple of things.
It's the best of the Anthony Cumia Show. 1 hour of what you missed this week because you're too damn cheap to pay for it.
Now, Bobo, do you have a mic over there? Let's give Bobo a little microphone, and because I want to talk to Bobo and get people up to speed. Bobo, you there? Oh, Garrett, you give 110%, don't you, Garrett? Garrett is in full regalia for this. I couldn't be happier. There it is. Well, you know what? We got to give a little tribute to the fact that this was invented, this game in Japan. We've taken things from England. All in the Family started in England. Sanford and Son, The Office. So we borrow things. Well, we here at the Anthony Cumia Show, we're borrowing some of the Japanese shows and incorporating them here in America. Why not start with the Handjob Karaoke? Bobo, now fill people in. You are, in fact, a virgin.
Exactly.
Right. Now, how old a gentleman are you?
33.
You're 33 years young. Big Mets fan, of course. We all know that.
Yep, exactly.
Go to the Mets game. How long have you been? How long have you known us, by the way?
I've known you guys since 2008.
2008 was the first appearance you made on the Opie and Anthony show, and we've loved having Bobo on many shows. He's been to a lot of appearances and whatnot. People sometimes say some very unkind things about Bobo, but we love him. We love him. He's, I call him an idiot savant without the pesky savant part. I'm teasing, Bobo. You know I'm a good friend of yours. I love you, love your family, and we love when, and I'm sure you do too, when beautiful girls get to touch your pecker, right?
Yep, of course.
That's something that's good. That's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I guess we should start the festivities. Bobo, if you would get behind my wonderful logo up there on the stage, and there he is. All right, now, Peyton, if you would get in position, kind of, I guess Keith can direct them, or maybe the game show host. All right, there you go. Okay, hold on, not yet. Don't start anything yet. Because, you know, that is a pistol that's ready to go off. So let's just keep everything, keep your hands away from anything right now. All right, here comes one of the wacky game show hosts. Yeah. Turn around to the camera there, Garrett. There you go. There's got it, son. Got it, son. We go to play. All right. Oh, could you give me that? I don't need the wig. Who am I, Howard Stern? I can leave the wig off. I got this. I'll get this. And then, could I have the teeth? Give me those. Okay. Very funny. Okay. You, oh, I can't talk at the TV. You going to make very much humor. You go sing the song She Yankee of the Cranky. Very good. She been demoted from a nail shop to Yankee Cranky. Bobo-san, you ready to sing a Song of the Beastie Boy?
Ready.
Don't, we cooked the beavers. He was very delicious. Sweet and the sour beavers. Beavers are chow mein.
You wake up late for school and you don't want to go.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, take that off.
Your mom, please, but she still says no.
All right, whoa.
You missed 2 whole classes and no homework. But your teacher preaches class like he's some kind of jerk.
Oh, she's titty fucking him.
You gotta fight for your right to party.
He's impervious. He's paying more Italian gong solo.
Your pop's going to smoking and she says no way. That hypocrite smokes 2 bags a day.
All right, maybe she's getting somewhere.
Oh, man, living at home is such a drag. Your mom threw away your best porno mag. You gotta fight for your right to party.
Oh no! A little more action up front there, Peyton.
You gotta fight.
Peyton, grab his microphone.
Wow.
How is it, Bobo?
You don't cut that. Your mom busts in and says, "What's that noise?" Your mom just yelling, "It's a BT boy." You gotta fight for your right to party.
Very good, very good. Oh my God! Did he lose?
Fight for your right to party.
To party. Oh my God! That is very good. Oh, very dishonorable. Oh my goodness. Very good. You.
Wow.
I hope you don't make an egg drop soup on my steak. What the hell?
The Anthony Cumia Show.
This is the Legion of Skanks podcast. This is the Legion of Skanks podcast.
Dan Soder talking about eating apples and peanut butter with the joy of what he just told you he just ate a banana split.
Childlike wonder.
It's like
so
candy.
Excited.
Well, but that's the other thing, your body, and we should fucking move on to funny shit, too, because this isn't a fucking health podcast.
You yelling at people they need to eat natural peanut butter is hilarious.
It is really fun.
No sugar added. Didn't you? He said you blew a snot rocket into his fucking peanut butter.
Here's what he did.
I bought the natural peanut butter.
I bought Dan Soder natural peanut butter. Smucker's all natural. No, nothing added. Just fucking mashed up peanuts.
Smucker's weirdly kind of has it's 100% peanuts, but it kind of has a different consistency than the other like all natural ones I find.
Sure.
Like it's almost a little.
I bought this for Dan Soder. I bring it over to his house.
I don't like how dismissive you were of
because
that.
he had Skippy. He had fucking Skippy in his place. So
Dan Soder lives like an 8-year-old. He does every lunch is like a Skippy sandwich with a glass of milk.
Soder goes. He eats the handy snacks where he rips them into 4 crackers. It's my carbs for the week.
Dude, chocodiles, yes.
He always brings a Ziploc full of dinosaur chicken nuggets.
So I bring over, it's a fucking $7 fucking jar of peanut butter. And I'm like, Dan, here, I got this for you because I know you have Skippy. You really want peanut butter. So he was like, yeah, dude, I'll open it up as soon as I finish my jar of Skippy. So I took his jar of Skippy and I just fucking blew a snot rocket in it and then turned it and put it in front of him. And he got mad at me.
For that?
Rightfully so.
He got mad?
Dan just took his property and ruined it, and then he got bent out of shape?
One of the nicest guys in the world, but I will tell you right now, try to write a script with Dan Soder and see what a psychopath he turns into.
Try to negotiate a six-figure deal.
I'm going to talk to him because if we're going to write a book together, then I need to check you out.
He's a fucking psycho, dude. I'm just trying to have fun. Here's what I do. Here's what he gets mad at. I shadowbox while I write.
Okay, Lewis, already trying to stop you. I'm sorry, Lewis. I just got to stop you.
You know what's funny? He actually told me all this already, and you're wrong.
Here's the problem. Hold on, let me just stop you. Here's the problem with you going like, no. I know everybody when you're all watching Dan, he's normal, but when it's just me, and you have to take my word for it, he's a psychopath. Here's the problem with that line of argument. No, that's you are a psychopath.
We're going to have crossover beef with the Bonfire now because he's not going to like that. You're going to try to justify that. What's the big deal? I'm just shadow boxing while trying to do work with somebody.
Well, no, here's his problem, okay? No, that's his biggest problem with me is that I shadow box while I write. Okay, fine. I shadow box. It gets me in a fucking thinking space.
He's a psychopath. I'm shadow boxing close to his face, screaming cunt. And he starts getting annoyed.
Let him do it.
Like, bro, I will snot rocket the rest of your peanut butter.
Yeah, wait, let me say, here's the thing. What you don't understand is Soder's the problem.
Do we have a producer? I'm doing hand motion shit over here that's all visual.
The Likability Olympics. Yeah, that would back up.
Job.
Who is producing the show today?
Hey, Soder, I'm still congested. If you think I won't snot rocket that jelly next, you're wrong.
It's a layer of oil. You have to mix it in.
So my problem with Dan, that's his biggest problem with me is that I shadowbox while I write sometimes.
I know there's more to it than that.
My biggest problem with him is if I question anything that he's put on paper, even for 1 second, he turns into like a drunken stepfather that starts fucking trying to, what do they call that when they go to check you? Yeah, they go to check you. Dude, he gets violently angry.
At you?
Yes.
Are you sure this wasn't you? This sounds so much more like you than Dan.
I've never even seen him
angry.
I've never even seen him like ticked off at me.
I almost want to call him on speakerphone and
me too.
Is he around? Let me see if he's on speaker. Call him on speakerphone, Bobby. Here, hold on. Speakerphone.
He's on speaker.
Oh, he's on speaker. Good.
Dan.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Hey, buddy. Lewis is over here telling one side of a story that I just don't think could possibly be true.
It's 100% true.
I'm convinced you're going to be right.
We already think you're right, and you don't have to say a word yet. He said...
Also, Soder, congratulations on all the success. If you need an opener, I'm available.
I didn't really hear what the new voice of Fox News had to say.
It doesn't pay that good. I'm still available.
That's weekday work.
From celebrity to another, it's nice to reach out.
So Soder,
I thought you hung up on him. I was like, good.
I was telling the story of Lewis blowing a snot rock in your peanut butter, and he goes, Dan got really mad, and he seemed like that was bizarre, but it's like, yeah, well, you did destroy his belongings, and then and throw it out and put him in a weird situation.
But a very Lewis move, he had given me natural peanut butter, so he actually did a good thing, but then he ruined it by being Lewis.
Yes.
Can I ask Dan a question? Dan, would it be fair to say that Lewis did the right thing in the most unlikable way possible?
I mean, 100%.
Dan, hold on. You're a fucking judge on likability.
Stop.
Don't start fucking doing this now, because you'll be out of the likability.
Your Honor, let the record show I asked a question. It was not leading.
It's too much. This is too much for speakerphone. So, Soder, I'm going to let you have your piece here because when I tell you what was said, you're going to get wound up.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah, and I just felt as my partner and number one in my speed dial that I should a man I'm comfortable enough for my girlfriend to have a number in her phone that we're on.
Yeah.
So he goes, Soder's a psycho. You want to know how crazy he is? And first of all, the whole room turned on him immediately because he goes, okay, look, Soder's a lunatic. Now, when we write together, I like to shadow box. And everyone was just like, oh, Christ, well, Soder's already right. Whatever he's going to say. And then he says if he ever comes in, and his description was to come in and make a polite, nice gesture of like, hey, Soder, maybe we should change this word because we're using this word too much. He said your reaction is to go, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck? Let me fucking do it. And he's just cursing at him and yelling and flipping out. And then you always calm down and do what he says.
Okay, that is half true, but it's very Lewis spin on it.
Yes.
Hold on,
of course.
I want to hear Dan's spin on it.
Now, hold on. Now, let me explain what really happens. What happens is Lewis and I together. We work surprisingly
The script is hilarious.
Start with a compliment. I like that.
I'm not. I mean,
start with a compliment.
That's why he's the most likable person.
I like it.
Dude, from the bottom of my heart, the script is hilarious.
I mean, I can't even hear it, but so when we're going through and changing lines or making notes, sometimes I'll like say a bunch of stuff, and when Lewis disagrees, I do get a little psychotic. That I will agree with, and I'll be like, but here's the thing: Lewis doesn't do a good job explaining it. So when it is a good change, when I finally realize what it is, I'll calm down and be like, oh yeah, that is a good change. But it's not 100% of the time. That is not true at all.
Let me ask you this.
Is it being told to you through Shadowbox?
But let me also tell you that when you write a show with Louis J. Gomez, prepare to be shadowboxed an inch away from your face while you're writing.
I motivate.
While you're trying to write dialogue, and then also have him fucking, whenever he eats, he just chews in your ear and reads whatever you're writing over your shoulder.
Dan, don't forget about how I play with your swords.
I can't hear you. What did he say?
Don't forget how I play with your swords.
He just goes to my closet and takes out these swords that I have and just starts fucking swinging them around like a fucking low-income
Hold on. I like how he's the weird one and you have swords.
Yeah, Dan.
Does...
All right, I'll tell you what. Guess who just drew an enemy ticket when the apocalypse happened? Whoever just said that. I was about to get their fucking head lopped off with a broadsword tossing me on Legion of Skanks. I'm fired up. I'm fucking fired up.
Well, let me say,
Bring the belt.
Dan, am I wrong? Anytime I'm saying, 90% of the time, if I even make the slightest suggestion, do you not over the top start screaming and get angry?
No, I don't. I wouldn't say 90% of the time. I would say, here's the thing: it's not just an immediate explosion. It's when you'll like edit like 3 or things, 4 of my things, and then I'll work up to like a volcanic eruption.
But is it because you've been shadowboxed close to your head for the past 3 hours?
You have no idea. It's almost like...
Oh, no, I have an idea.
Lewis basically runs a stick along my cage and then laughs when I start barking at him.
Yeah. He's a big dumb animal. Buddy, I love you. Thanks
I love you too, buddy.
And I will see you next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Bonfire on Comedy Central.
I'm going to call you later. I'm going to call you later because I'm wearing my fucking Huey Lewis in the News shirt, and we got to talk.
I want to hear how it popped off tonight.
Dude,
Okay.
Love you, buddy.
We'll talk later.
Bye.
I hope
you can't gloss over owning swords, though, right?
I hope that Dan gets SNL and you have to fucking give up your show. I hate you.
Buddy, I'm contracted that show for a year. It'll be the big Jay Okerson Power Hour.
We did that as a Legion of Skanks episode. You're going to have to talk to our producers.
I'm biting that.
Can I be honest, Lewis? You came. I think you survived that better than I thought you would.
Yeah, no. He actually kind of just described that I was right.
He's just a good dude.
It's almost like 2 men had a discussion and met somewhere in the middle.
Soder's just a great dude. Wouldn't throw Lewis under the bus like that. The way Lewis tried to throw Soder under the bus.
The Anthony Cumia Show.
This is the best of the Gavin McInnes Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce in this corner, R.A. the Rugged Man. R.A., what's your real name? Thorburn?
Thorburn, T-H-O-R-B-U-R-N.
T-H-O-R-B-U-R-N. We're going to bring in Talib Starks after the debate is over to see, as a ref, to see what happened. But right now, folks, we're about to have the fight of the century with R.A. the Rugged Man, Long Island's greatest rapper of all time, and in the other corner, Mr. Jared Taylor. Jared Taylor is a racial realist.
I thought he was going to have some time to warm up.
Nope, we're diving right into it. Jared, I don't know how much to say about him. He's born in Japan, fluent in Japanese, very well-educated man. I find he talks like 1950s TV shows.
Like Elmer from Brain Damage.
He came over to my house once, and after he left, I said to my wife, "What do you think about that guy?" And she goes, "He's real smart." He will be debating R.A. R.A.'s initial interest here was to discuss eugenics, and on the poster I said, "Is America racist?" But I don't see those two as very different subjects. I think it's inarguable that blacks are doing badly in America if you look at crime and education, And so the question is ultimately, whose fault is that? Is it the black man's fault, or are we somehow putting them in a bad situation? So let's start by asking Jared the simple question, is America a racist country?
Well, it depends on what you mean by racist. If you mean that the people in the United States, people prefer to be with people like themselves, then that's the case all around the world. But your question probably means, is America holding black people down?
Yes.
And the answer to that question is absolutely not. Blacks in America are the best educated, best paid, best medicated, best housed, best fed black people in the history of the world. And you have black people coming from all around the rest of the world trying to get in, banging on the doors to get in. I don't think they'd be coming here if they thought that wicked white men were trying to hold them down.
True, but there have been studies that have shown that a resume with a white name will tend to get accepted faster than a resume with a black name.
Yes, I've heard that. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. The fact is, if you apply to Harvard and you've got a black name, you can get in with SAT scores that are about 200, 300 points lower than a white person. I think there may be swings and roundabouts on that.
So do you believe that racism is a big issue in America?
Black people make a big issue of it. I think they're their own worst enemy in that respect.
Well, I mean, if you go online and you read comments from anybody, like any black person that has an article written about them, it doesn't matter who it is. It's like, oh, the black guy from the hood, the black. I mean, all you see is hatred for blacks. Or go on any article you've ever read from any, have a picture of a black person, and it's, oh, this is Obama's puppet, or this is, I had a friend, Sean Price, greatest rapper. He just died the other day, and I went to People magazine, I went to all their sites, and all the comments were like, this ignorant black ghetto thug, I'm glad he's gone. It's like, so for people to act like racism doesn't exist anymore, it's just ignorance and untrue.
You see very little of that kind of thing. In fact, on the contrary, in the media today, if you look on television or movies, blacks are invariably depicted in the most flattering poses, far more so than would be the case in any kind of real life. If you've got a wise judge or you've got the heroic detective, chances are it's a black man.
But why are you avoiding
head of the hospital?
Why are you avoiding the comments if you just go online and read the comments?
But those might be a bunch of 13-year-olds who are frustrated. They're frustrated that they can't say that in public.
So why don't the 13-year-olds say it on white people?
There are millions of comments online. You can cherry pick comments. I mean, you can do that all day long. I don't think that proves anything. You can find plenty of people saying insulting things about blacks.
So do you...
The idea of somehow using comments as some sort of proof or indication of the state of the American mind, I think is crazy.
Okay, so Jared, you believe white people and Asian people are superior beings to black people and Hispanics, right?
On average, the evidence is overwhelming that that's the case. That's obvious.
Really?
I mean, that's the only way. That's the only way that you can explain the past 500 years of world history. So if blacks are just as smart and hardworking as white people, why is it that wherever you find them, anywhere in the world, they have all the same problems: poverty, crime, illegitimacy? Wherever you find them, in black countries, white countries,
not true. The richest man in the history of the world is a black man, Mansa Musa, black African, richest man in the history of times. Oh, if you go all over the world, blacks are poor. Yeah, maybe at this time there's more. At this particular, you're thinking like small, minute, little guy shit. The thing is,
little guy. Where are they not poor? Where are they not poor?
What are you talking about?
Show me an African country where
the richest man in history was a black man. The richest man ever in history was a black man. And then you brush it off and go, well, if you go to Ghana today, they're not so rich. Or
one guy.
One guy. You know how many black men on the planet have higher IQs than you, are smarter than you, are richer than you, are physically better looking than you, physically more attractive than you, and more successful than you. So
who are you talking about?
One guy. I'm talking about. What are you the most? You're telling me you have a higher IQ than all black people?
Look. it is possible to find smart people in every race, no question about it.
Smarter than you, though.
On average, I think that there is no evidence anywhere to suggest that the average black person is as smart as the average Asian. The world simply does not make sense if that were true. There would be some area in which black people demonstrated their intelligence, demonstrated their discipline, demonstrated their self-control.
Yeah, all the ones who were smarter than you and richer than you and more successful than you.
Area in which that's true.
So Jared, do you believe that most white Americans believe what you believe?
I'd say probably about 30 to 40%, and also I'd say about 30 to 40% of black people think the same thing.
That white people
They're not stupid after all. They look at the world. They look at the world around them, and they see black people failing in every domain, and they're not so brain dead as to think that it's because vicious white people are rubbing their hands and saying, "How am I going to keep black people down?"
See, wait. But if you believe that 30 to 40% of Americans believe that whites and Asians are superior to blacks, then you just lost the argument because you're claiming that 30 to 40% of Americans are racist that believe they are superior to blacks. So you're
what I'm saying is probably 30 to 40% of white Americans, and as I said, 30 to 40% of black Americans think that on average,
that's untrue.
White people are smarter than black people. Now, that doesn't mean that you have any ill will for black people.
Find me those black people who believe that. That's just a made-up, silly statistic.
You said to me once,
30 to 40% of blacks believe that
in fact, there are polls that will suggest that black
taken by a white man.
So everything white people do is, well, okay.
Well, if there's a poll that's manipulated by a white man to say that look, we're better than you, of course.
Look, for heaven's sake. If a pollster calls up black people and says, "Do you think on average white people are smarter than black people?" If they don't think that they are, they're going to lie about it? No, I think I could dig up a poll that suggests that black people, probably 20 to 30%, they could see that. Well, I can't find them individually. I can point you to polls. I've met several myself that did think that. But look, it doesn't make any difference what people think. It makes more difference what the facts in fact are. And you're using the word superior, but blacks are superior to whites in athleticism, for example. I think they probably have some greater abilities in rhythm, in music.
Depending on which white, just like depending on which black.
Can I interrupt?
Averages here.
Jared, can I interrupt you?
Yeah, but what is what?
No, hold on. Just I want to differentiate between general and universal because this comes up a lot. And the bell curve, I just sketched this out right now. I don't know if you can see this, Rat. But the bell curve basically said that when discussing millions of people, blacks tend to do worse on IQ tests generally, and whites tend to do about the middle, and Asians tend to do highest. But obviously, there's a major overlap at the bottom here where you have, say, hundreds of thousands of blacks smarter than hundreds of thousands of Asians. And I had Steve Saylor work out the numbers once, and I think even you were a little surprised by how many there was. But in no way are we talking about a universal here. If you meet a black guy, you have to start from scratch. And in the bell curve, they make that very clear. It's a blank slate every time. You could be meeting Thomas Sowell. You could be meeting a murderer. You don't know. But you're allowed to generalize when you talk about millions. No one is saying anyone's better than anyone, but we are, I think Jared's saying that the vast majority of Asians tend to do better on IQ tests than the vast majority of blacks.
Well, that's what you just said. You're just saying that they beat them at IQ. That's your only theory?
What?
That's all you're saying? I think you're saying a lot more
Will you
than
concede that, though?
That maybe an Asian, well, no, I don't see it. If you raise a black child, a white child, and an Asian child in the same household, same family upbringing,
I'm glad you got that. That's the fundamental.
And you're going to give me some fake statistic
no,
that
I'm not.
They actually did that once.
No, I'm just glad you went there.
A black child raised by the same parents, in the same household, the same surroundings, has just as much of a chance as doing good on an IQ test than an Asian baby, an Indian baby.
Mr. Thorburn, that test has been done.
How?
It's been
Who
done
did it?
Several times.
Who did it? Who are these children that were all in the same household?
Come on. You take black children and you adopt them and you rear them in white households. You can take black people. You can take mixed race black and white people. It's been done.
When?
And in the early... When? There's a famous Minnesota study about that. Look up Sandra Scar on the Internet.
So they did for one person and that's the thing?
Okay, you're going to say white people put this study together, white people can't be trusted to do anything.
What about a white boy that was raised in Chicago?
Yeah, let me finish.
Okay.
In the first few years, there seemed to be an encouraging effect of family on the IQs of blacks. By the time they were 16 years old, however, the black children who had been adopted and reared in middle-class white families, they had dropped right back down to the black average. So this test has been tried.
Who are these kids? Show me them.
What's
Let's
that?
interview them. Who are these children? I'd like to see them all in the same house, under the same situation.
Well, what about our identical twins separated at birth? We find them, one grew up poor, one grew up rich. They end up with similar dogs, similar jobs. Right. One's in film, one's reviewing film. Their husbands look similar. Their cars look similar. They have the same median income.
Twins. What does that have to do with a black man?
I'm saying that what defines you happens at birth. Why do these identical twins always end up being the same when they're raised totally differently?
Take a white boy, raise him in the streets of Chicago where there's gunfire everywhere, and raise him that way, okay? Then take fucking Tom Cruise's black adopted son and see which one is likely to be involved in crime in his fucking life. It's not going to be the black kid, Connor.
Valid.
It's going to be the white boy that was raised in this thug streets of Chicago with gunfire.
Tom Cruise's son is not going to be involved in crime. We know that.
You're free to believe that issue if you wish, Mr. Thorburn, but there have been many studies trying to tease out the difference between environment and IQ. The point that Mr. McInnes is making is that intelligence that you're born with is going to have a far more profound effect on you than the environment in which you're reared. That's the significance of identical twins separated at birth. Environment doesn't make that much difference. They're going to turn out the way they're going to turn out.
But Jared, throw him a bone here. You have to admit.
Environment makes all the difference in the world.
Jared,
this is the silliest thing I've ever heard.
You have to admit that Tom Cruise's... Hold on. You have to admit that Tom Cruise's black son is likely going to do great.
It all depends on what he was born with. It all depends on what hand he was dealt by the genetically roulette.
He's a black man. Is he? You think he's likely to have crime more than a white boy in Chicago or Detroit?
I don't know, but I think he's got the genetic deck stacked against him. Yes, he does.
Oh, to do crime?
In fact,
so you believe skin color? You believe skin color?
No, it's not skin color. It's something far more important than skin color. Skin color is a mere detail.
Okay, so what do you believe? You believe that they are born as criminals? They are more likely to perform crime because they have a black body and black genetics?
Black genetics is what matters most. Black people have lower average intelligence and higher average testosterone. That is a classic combination for higher crime. If you find people in jails, they have lower IQ than average, they have higher testosterone than average. Black people, on average, are born with 2 strikes against them in that respect. I'm not saying it's their fault. That's just the way the different races evolve.
Like M. Night Shyamalan.
The Anthony Cumia Show. Now we're talking uncensored. If you like what you hear, visit AnthonyCumia.com for subscription information and show details. And never miss a minute of fully archived shows available at any time in streaming HD video or audio download.